I still remember the exact second my daughter's face changed. She was standing in my mother's living room, 7 years old, bunny socks sliding on the hardwood, fingers hovering over the glittery gift bag like it held the whole world. Those were her birthday presents, wrapped by me at 1 a.m. after a double shift, the paper still smelling faintly of hospital coffee and the Sharpie I'd used to label them, Harper, do not open until 3/28. And in one smooth, smiling motion, my mother pulled them out and handed them to my nephews. They're younger, she said, voice light as if she were offering seconds of dessert. They'll enjoy them more. Harper didn't cry. She just went still. The kind of still that makes your stomach drop because you know the kid inside is screaming, but the outside has already learned it's safer to shut up. I was 33, a paramedic in Cleveland, still reeking of diesel and antiseptic from a 12-hour rig shift. I'd come straight from the station to this family birthday dinner because Harper had begged for Nana's dinosaur cake. One night. One easy night. That's all I wanted. Instead I watched my mother hand my daughter's art set, the one with 80 markers and the tiny easel she'd circled in the catalog until the page tore, to 4-year-old Max. The instant camera with rainbow film went to 3-year-old Eli. He squealed and hugged it like treasure. Harper whispered, "But you said those were mine." My mother cooed without missing a beat. "Sweetheart, you have so many things already. Let's not be greedy." Greedy. The word landed like a slap. My pulse jumped the way it does when a monitor flatlines and you know you've got seconds. I didn't yell. Years on ambulances teach you how to keep your hand steady even when everything else is falling apart. I bent down, picked up Harper's little denim jacket from the chair, held it out. Bug. Coat on. We're leaving. She slid into it without a word. That silence told me more than any tantrum ever could. Behind me, my mother's voice sharpened. "Ashton, you're overreacting. It's just stuff. Don't ruin the night over a few toys." I turned, met her eyes. For the first time I didn't feel like her son standing in front of the principal. I felt like the guy who calls time of death. I picked up my keys. "Check your bank app," I said quietly. "I just removed the autopay on your car loan." Her face froze. She pulled her phone out on reflex, thumbed open the app. I watched the color drain as she saw the transaction canceled. We walked out. Harper clutched my hand so hard her knuckles went white. In the car, streetlights sliding across her face, she hugged her backpack like a shield. "I shouldn't have told Grandma what I wanted," she said. Then she wouldn't be mad. I gripped the wheel until my knuckles ached. "You did nothing wrong. Grown-ups made bad choices. That's not on you." She nodded too fast, the way kids do when they want to believe you but already know the world doesn't always match what you say. That moment in the car wasn't the beginning. It was the end of pretending. It started small, years earlier. After the divorce, when my ex decided child support was optional and I was trading sleep for overtime, my parents offered their spare room. "Temporary," my mother said. "Family helps family. Don't make it transactional." I wanted to believe her so badly I ignored the warning signs. First it was Harper's stuffed fox disappearing. "Your cousin wanted to borrow him," my mother said. "You don't mind sharing, do you?" It never came back. Then her piggy bank smashed open on the coffee table, coins sorted into neat piles while Max and Eli giggled. "We're teaching them about money," my mother explained. "Harper doesn't need all this. We'll replace it." They never did. Harper started hiding coins in old shoe boxes under her bed. Then came the car loan. One night in the kitchen she pulled me aside. "We've been talking." That phrase always meant a decision had already been made without me. She laid it out, my monthly contribution wasn't enough. If I added $275 for her car payment, she'd help by covering it herself. "You're driving more than anyone. What if something happens and I can't get to work? We're all relying on that car." I ran the numbers. Overtime was killing me. My ex was behind again. I caved. I set up the autopay. That's how the pattern locked in. Miss a family dinner because of a call. "We're doing all this for you and Harper. The least you can do is show up. Ask her not to give a 7-year-old soda at 9 p.m. Don't be so controlling. Watch my nephews grab toys out of Harper's hands while she cried. You're older. Be smooth. Let it go. Smooth. Never kind. Never fair. Just smooth, meaning don't make waves when my sister Lily and the boys are around. My life shrank to fit their convenience. I worked. I paid. I apologized for being exhausted. Harper learned to shrink faster. She stopped asking to sit on Grandpa's lap. She started saying it's okay before anyone could tell her it should be. I told myself it was temporary. Once I got the promotion, once the medical bills cleared, once my ex stepped up, it would even out. It never did. Then came the birthday. I watched my mother hand away the gifts I'd bought, wrapped, and labeled for my daughter. In front of her. Something inside me that had been bleeding quietly for years finally tore wide open. We left. The text started before we reached the end of the block. You're making a scene over nothing. She said she didn't care. She's fine. You always think the worst of her. In the rear view, Harper stared out the window, eyes shiny. At home I bathed her, put her in dinosaur pajamas, then sat at the kitchen table and opened my banking app. Recurring payments: mom car $275 per month, edit remove card, cancel autopay. It felt like clamping an arterial bleed. The whoosh of pressure. Releasing after holding it too long. The next morning at 6:03 a.m., as I laced my boots for shift, the first call came. My car payment bounced. Is your bank being weird again? I sent the screenshot of the cancellation. She called. I let it ring twice, then answered. How could you do this? I'm not paying for your car anymore. I need that money for Harper. For us to move. You're punishing me. I'm setting a boundary. You embarrassed me in front of Lily and the boys. My daughter watched you give away her birthday presents because you decided she'd enjoy them less. We're done. You wouldn't even have a roof without us. I took you in when your wife left. I watched Harper on your night shifts. This is how you repay me. There it was, the ledger she'd always kept but never admitted to. I appreciate the help you gave, I said. I'm still not paying your loan. You're going to let my car get repossessed. You're going to be responsible for your own bills. You're unbelievable. I raised you better than this. Family doesn't just walk away. Maybe not. But they don't steal from 7-year-olds either. I hung up. A week later, Harper walked out of school without her backpack. Grandma picked me up early. She said I didn't need 2 sets of supplies. She'd keep the markers at her house so the boys can use them too. My mother had used her approved pickup status, something I'd added years ago when I still believed we were a team. I drove straight there. Her backpack sat open by the pantry. Markers scattered. Max and Eli coloring like it was community property. I walked in, took Harper's hand, and said, very calmly, where is the school backpack I bought for Harper, with the supplies I labeled with her name? My mother blinked. We don't have to make this ugly. I started repacking every item with Harper's name on it. You're being petty, she snapped. They were just using them. You're making Harper selfish. I zipped the bag. Swung it over my shoulder. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're not picking her up from school anymore. Your name is coming off every list. You're not reoming her things. You're not using my kid to stock your house. You can't cut us off from our granddaughter. We love her. Then act like it. She laughed, short, ugly. You're going to regret this. When you're drowning and you need us again, don't come crawling. I didn't argue. I went home and started a folder. Screenshots. Photos. Texts. Dates. Amounts. Not revenge. Clarity. Because when things go bad, the story people tell later never matches reality. You need it written down. The Real break didn't happen in shouting matches. It happened under fluorescent lights in a legal aid office downtown. I laid it out clinically, dates, dollars, incidents. The attorney listened, took notes, asked twice if I had things in writing. Each time I slid my phone over. She drafted 3 letters. 1 to my parents, no more financial contributions without written agreement. Effective immediately. 1 to the school, remove them as emergency contacts and pick up people. 1 to my ex, formalizing custody terms, explicitly stating grandparents have no decision-making authority without parental consent. I chose certified mail. 3 days later the group chat exploded. What is this? This is extreme. We could have talked. You're making mom sick over a misunderstanding.